Let's call this meeting to order. Let's call this meeting to order and, well, actually, okay, we'll do the pledge and, okay.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's a good idea to an invocation. I'll do the invocation tonight, and then maybe we can pass it around to others. Yes, it is on. Can you hear me, Jose? Okay, very good. Okay, well, I guess let's bow our heads and let's say a little invocation. Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight. Please bless all the volunteers that. Father, please help us to keep in mind that we're here to benefit the people of Palm Valley. Please give us the wisdom to make good decisions that are pleasing to you. And as we discuss the plans and the budget for next year, please help us to be fiscally responsible with the taxpayers' money. So in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So any communication? No communication. Okay, so we can go to item number 5, which is consider and take action to appoint new officers. Now that they're all newly appointed, got new members and they're all here. And so anybody want to be president, chairman and vice chairman of this organization? Hey.
I nominate John Top to be the chairman.
I don't know if I first or second. I agree.
Hey, now, I mean, I've done this for a while, so
Yeah,
if you need somebody new.
No, we don't need anyone new.
Very good. at it.
Well, I say that, we're welcome to have someone new if somebody would like.
I was gonna say John too, so you were just faster than I was, so.
Okay, well then, okay, so who wants to be vice chairman?
Who's been doing it?
Michael Galvan. Michael's not here anymore.
I think it should maybe be somebody who eventually would want to take over as chairman. So if you got to the point where you just didn't want to do it anymore, they know what you're doing.
I'm looking up there.
Well, I'm looking over at you, so I was gonna nominate Julie.
I've been here a long time.
Y'all are the two people that have been here the
Yeah.
longest.
She's been here longer.
Okay, so I'll nominate Julie if she's willing.
Oh. They have no idea.
Okay, so all in favor on the chairman and the vice chairman?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Exactly. You know me well.
Okay, it passed. Congratulations, Julie.
Who made the motion here for the chairman?
I did. And
And Karen said-
I second.
Correct.
Okay, the vice chairman?
I did.
Okay. Scott.
And then Shane.
And Shane
seconded.
seconded it.
Okay. Got it.
All right, thank you. Now let's go to item number 6, and that's consider to take action to approve the minutes of the meeting of May 31st. Under tab number 6.
I make a motion to approve them. I read it this afternoon.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, and you, Julie seconded it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Jennifer seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Thank you very much. All right, good. Okay, now we need to consider to take action to accept the resignation of the notification submitted by board member Sylvia. She called. I think y'all are very well aware that she has resigned. So. Julie?
I make a motion to accept resignation. She's
I
done a
second.
super job.
I'll second.
Jennifer seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. She was a hard worker, so we're all gonna have to step up to replace Rivera because she put in a lot of work.
I'm
looking at Scott
Yeah.
and Shane and Jennifer. So.
Actually, I'm like Jennifer's
Yeah,
Those templates.
Jennifer already showed her.
Exactly.
ability, so-
And I'm a great helper.
Yeah. Karen, hey, man, you stick those,
Yeah, you
those letters on and
I'll
you,
find us a bang on it.
and actually you bring a plus with you, so then.
Well, he comes and helps, yeah.
Your voluntold husband.
All right. All right, so now we need to go to number 8, consider and take action to recommend to the city council potential candidates to serve on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board to fill that board vacancy. Now, y'all have, I think, 2 packets that had been turned in earlier, and then one more that came to us just recently.
Yeah,
So there's 3 people
for one slot, correct?
for one spot.
Okay.
There's no
So,
way you can have like 2 slots.
Hey, John, I wanted to ask a quick question.
yes, sir.
I liked Gilberto's suggestion of posting applications on our website to make it open to everyone in the community. You know, as far as openings for boards and stuff like that. I think we did that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Did we get anything from that?
Yeah. We got three applications
That's a
because it's,
positive thing, you know, I mean, you still have the option of selecting, but it opens it up where it's not a good old boy thing, you know, where someone's gonna critique you. and
right.
Say, well, you just put in whoever you like and then whoever's gonna agree with you, you know, so I think that's a nice thing. We should continue with everything with the city, just for transparency.
No, we took that to heart and we did it.
Yeah, good, okay.
So that's where these 3 applications came from. I don't know, does anybody know any of these 3 people?
I know 2 of them.
Okay.
I don't know Mike Vargas.
Okay.
He's been here the longest though.
I know the name Melissa Tice, but
Well, Melissa ran for
Yeah,
city council.
she's definitely
Yes.
interested.
I think she ran for council.
Yes, that's
woman,
correct.
Right. And she's lived here in Palm Valley twice. She was my next door neighbor. Her children were growing up. And then her husband wanted to move out in the country. And then when they got a divorce, she moved back into Palm Valley again.
Yeah, I know she's been involved in like the 1230 Club over at Harlem Country Club. She held some offices there, so she has been involved in stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
she
so
has
she knows the
some
area.
in our local
Right.
area.
right. And she's been involved in our Rotary Club too.
Oh, okay.
So John, was Mike Vargas, was this the company that helped us with the Veterans Memorial, the General Services Administration?
I don't know.
Okay.
Mayor, do you know Mike Vargas?
What's that?
Do you know Mike?
Vargas?
I don't,
No, I guess not then.
Okay.
maybe if I saw them, but
Okay, and Mike Hicks is our golf pro at the country club. And he had asked me about it some time ago, and then he called me a day or 2 ago and said, hey, I can't get this thing to come down on my phone. And I said, well, use your computer. And so he downloaded it and printed it out. What's the problem? So that's who he is. And he said, you know, I've been here long enough. I'd be interested in helping. I think he listed some things here that he's done in other places. I know he cooks food for the staff at the golf course. Like every once a month, he feeds them all. Thank them for what they do.
He's got a huge barbecue.
Yeah, if you've seen the back of where Curtis Conrad used to live, I mean, his barbecue grill is as long as this paper. It's huge. That's,
Should we,
I know those 2 people. I don't know Michael Vargas.
should we meet them before we vote? To give
I
them a
think we need to-
fair,
I think we need to, whatever it's up. it's
well,
up
if
to
nobody
y'all.
knows, Mr. Vargas, it's kind of hard to.
Send him the agenda. So they were aware of the
Oh, okay.
not here.
And I don't know him, and I look at like, you know, again, Melissa is definitely interested. She ran for
Mhm.
city council.
Yeah.
And then Mike Hicks would be good in the fact that we coordinate so many things with the country club.
Right.
Legally, will he be allowed to vote like I know during the council? If you're part of the country club and the vote is about the country club, you have to, I just didn't know.
He'll just be on our.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a
I
question.
don't think that.
Yeah.
conflict of interest
That's,
there.
okay,
Yeah, for city parks,
okay,
probably not.
just a consideration.
Jerry Wade is a member of the city council and works for the.
Right, correct.
And he has to excuse himself anytime there's a discussion about the.
Exactly. So I was wondering if the same would apply.
Well, the same would apply, but we don't really, I mean, we may work with the country club on something, but it's not we don't make those kind of decisions.
Sure, it's just something to consider.
That's up to the city council.
I just kind of look at Melissa and figure, Claudia, she was willing to run for the board. Yeah, she obviously wants to work for the city.
Okay. So you.
And I mean, I like Mike Hicks, but you know, she handed hers in first.
I was actually looking at that too, trying to decide who's.
Well,
right.
Mike Vargas had his first, Mike Vargas submitted his first. And then Melissa, and then Mr. Hicks. But Michael Vargas was the first one to submit. the
But I mean-
What happened was Melissa did it on the 13th of July. You just didn't get it. So she had to then resend it again.
Mm.
Ah,
I mean, does the time it was submitted really?
No, but we
I'm
gotta
just
tie it,
feeling
so-
like that's not a reason to vote for someone.
I don't know, any of them.
That's why I was wondering why if we shouldn't request like a synopsis or a character reference.
Just one.
One, just to be unbiased.
Okay, so we only have one position.
Yeah, and Sylvia Rivera's position is what we're
Yeah.
replacing. And I do think it's good to keep a balance.
Mhm.
You know, I don't want, well, Joel's decision, but I think it's good to be, 3 and 4, 4 and 3. Don't get too many guys and, kind of keep a nice balance, which in this case, we've got 3 sitting at the table, so I guess the other person could be either way.
that's what I didn't know.
So so I'm looking at what they've done,
Right.
right? So it looks like Melissa's done quite a bit
Mhm.
here. Obviously, Mr. Hicks has done quite a bit. And our other one, Mr. Vargas, says this is the first time interested in getting involved in the community. That's kind of cool. And it's a great way to dip your toe in it. I mean, I'm just looking at it as kind of a new guy here too. I mean, I do some other pieces as well, but this might be a consideration, like maybe we.
Is there a
Michelle.
time crunch? Is there a problem with, I mean, is it a good idea to not ask for a synopsis of each person or?
I understand what you're saying.
This is the application that the council came up with. I think we need to use the application that they came up with.
Okay.
And
So I'm just using this. as-
Right, but they're not even the same formats. So that's why I was like trying to,
Two kind of are, these two are. but this one is-
Yeah.
so maybe we can suggest the council to request having a little like
More
a
uniform.
little, no, an area where they can talk about themselves.
Hmm.
When you don't know who they are, it's really hard
Like a
to,
letter of intent in the
Yeah.
future of why you want to serve.
exactly.
Okay, For future, I obviously can't do it now, but I mean, for future. yeah, A letter of intent. would be nice. I like that.
Well, and I guess my question is like, looking at the strengths that we already have, but is there a area that we really need someone to fit? Like, obviously, we found our person who is on it with trucking for the events. Thank you.
Forever known as the.
The organizer,
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, I'll show up and watch.
Well, it says that Mike Vargas is the construction project manager. And what is Melissa?
Melissa's she's in the real estate
Okay, so
business.
she's a realtor, and then Mike Hicks Country Club.
Golf club.
So what do you guys feel we would need No.
I mean, we've got.
This is hard.
This is hard. We haven't had shoes like
And we
that.
just want to do what's best for the community, so in the most unbiased fashion possible.
So.
I'm just like, okay.
And since I don't know any of them, that's why I'm sitting here going, a
No, for
little character synopsis would be very helpful. Would a contractor, a construction project manager would be helpful? Probably. He knows probably the rules and laws and,
Well, and that's where going, and we don't have to deal a lot with
right,
those kind of things, because that's a city council. You welcoming people to the neighborhood.
but if you want to build a sign or put it somewhere, or who might know the ins and outs.
Maybe you've got that pretty well, you know.
I'm guessing.
No,
I mean-
but actually, well, like, with the Veterans Project.
That's what
that
I'm-
was really helpful.
That's what I'm thinking, like.
And that was kind of the first time that we'd ever had anything like this, but really planning like
Mhm.
the social, so truly, it's events.
Right.
with, what we want to do to engage the community or help welcoming the community.
And hopefully large crowds. So-
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, we've got the lighting of the palms and
Right.
4th of July are our two big things. And now that we have the Veterans Park, we'll probably do something at Veterans Time or Memorial Day. Those are, and we may come up with some other ideas tonight, but we need help in doing those kind of events
Mhm.
Right.
to help the quality of life for people that live out here.
Agreed.
And I look at, and again, I'm like, hard to choose. And I don't know, Mike, I look at with Mike Hicks, because we partner so much with having facilities and that type of thing, that would be good. And then like Melissa's a real estate agent as far as, like when you're talking about, how to welcome someone.
Yeah.
to the neighborhood.
But exactly, so I think they all have, this is why.
Right,
No,
yeah, they might have
right.
strengths, yeah.
Right.
hard.
So then the question is, what do we need?
He's golf over at the
Yeah.
club. He's golf. He doesn't get involved in any of that other stuff.
No,
He's not a sign bearer, he's your job.
I mean, working with them, we'd be going to the manager, who's currently Shane, but we'd be going to the manager to.
So possible strengths for Melissa would be knowing the community and
I think
welcoming.
she's probably been involved in stuff like that.
Sure.
And
Shane
then-
Shane had a comment.
Well, it's just, as I look at what's limited information we have, to me, one that has the most information is Mike Hicks. And because of the additional information he provided about and his service organizations that I would say has the most experience in
Mhm.
terms of serving.
Mhm.
And so this is tough. They're all great candidates.
Exactly.
When I look at the resumes, it looks like Mike has the most information.
And I'm kind of leaning that direction too. And I'm looking at all the stuff he's done. It's not just that he works at the country club. It's nice. It's a maybe added benefit. But yeah, he's done so much,
Yeah.
they're listed here for
Yeah, the
community
track
endeavors.
record of giving to the community.
Yeah.
But he has only been here for about 1 year.
And that's what I've seen. That's right.
That's a lot of giving in one.
Yeah,
year.
he's a guy.
Right. Right. So,
But this stuff was all prior to moving here.
Correct.
Wow, then that means. he
So
already
he's,
has the
so he's got
hard
the
skills.
experience.
Yeah,
right.
right. So, maybe we're leaning in that direction.
Okay.
I'm
That's-
towards Melissa.
I-
Yeah, I know both.
I mean, I know them both. I like them both.
Yeah,
I think
it's
both
tough.
of them could contribute.
This is a good problem.
So now, we're just waiting for a motion in a second.
And I say that, boy, that's her, like with her, she's wanting to be on the city commission. I mean,
Yes.
like the leadership. So yeah, I have no help because I'm one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I brought up these two.
Which two?
Melissa and Mike.
My kids, okay.
Just because there's more information.
So looking at longevity in the club, I'll make a motion to accept Melissa Tights.
Okay.
I'm sorry, in the Palm Valley.
Second. Second. We have a second.
Sorry, Mike.
All in favor of Melissa Tice filling the position on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. This is to recommend to the city council. They still have to approve it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. So when's the next city council meeting?
August 31st.
31st. Okay. So you can put that on their agenda to see if they would approve Melissa Tice.
Yes, sir.
Now, if they decide that they would prefer like my kids, do they make that decision? Or do they just go?
This is our recommendation to
Okay.
the city council. It's their decision.
But they will, so they will get all 3 resumes?
We take your recommendation very serious. I take your recommendation very serious.
They've always done as we.
I don't have a vote anymore, so.
So,
They've always done what we asked.
yeah,
Okay, now we can go on to number 9, which is discussion only regarding the current budget. And so if you'll look at tab number 9.
I got a quick question on this one, John. When you're looking at your budget looks great. I mean, you guys have done a great job keeping it down. You spent a lot of money last year, but that's because of the park. I saw the lift. I'm sure you or Karen are going up in the lift and hanging that stuff, right? Is it Public Works that does it for you? You rent the equipment?
Yeah, we have 2 possibilities for to put the banners up and down. AEP volunteers to do it when they can, and it doesn't cost us anything. Okay, so if they can't do it, then we have to go spend $351.12 to rent a lift, and the city parks, Public Works people do it.
The only question I had is how many times do we, the city, do that? I mean, we gotta do it for Christmas, we gotta do it for 4th of July. I just wonder, I mean, I'm counting maybe 7 times, Christmas,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, July 4th.
no, Christmas and Thanksgiving are the same day.
They do it twice?
Just twice.
Once a year.
So you got 4 times, 351, so you got $1,500. We should at least look into what it costs to purchase one of those things. Because if it costs $3,000 to purchase it, in 2 years, we pay for it, you know, so, I mean, I'm a big renter also. I mean, I rent my fishboat captain, you know, I don't have a boat, you know, I hire a guy, and that's a great thing. I don't have to clean anything. I don't, you know, I go out 2 or 3 times a year, so I'm not saying renting is bad, but it would be interesting to see what one would, for the city, what one would cost new, and then that could come out of your, you know.
Now,
Okay.
my question too is, why do we want to get them down now?
Because the sun has been so hot that if you keep on longer, they're just gonna fade.
Okay.
And now they're
Yeah.
gonna have to be buying new banners.
Okay, because
Whether-
wasn't there a
The
point
Yeah.
where they would take down the 4th of July when they were putting up the Christmas? It seemed like now I'm quoting Sylvia Rivera. Yeah, I think before she left, she had said something about taking them down when you're ready to put up, you know, take them down at such a sign when you're ready to put up the Christmas ones. So I don't know if we've done it in the past or we have done it 2 different
I don't
times.
remember.
Yeah, but if they're fading, then you want to get them down.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is August and we don't put the other ones up until November.
Right.
So,
But I mean, you can keep patriotic ones up, but if the
Yeah.
sun's fading, I mean.
yeah, and we wouldn't want to keep the Christmas ones up all the way to.
And you said the one on Bougainvillea is coming off anyways.
Right.
correct?
Yeah.
Right, so I think we need to pay attention to it. If we can get AEP to do it, I mean, please contact them and see if they can do it. But I do think it's a good idea to, like the mayor suggested. Let's look into what the cost of buying one of those things is. I guess I could go over that. We run it from Rental Roll. I guess I could go over there and look at their, see what it is, and then
So I just Googled scissor lifts and they're 10 to 15.
10 to 15,000.
What about used?
That was the.
Okay.
Those were 2019 prices.
Whether or not you're taking down banners, what else would we use it for?
I don't know.
If you own it, you can find reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor, did you hear that Scott just Googled it and they're about 10 to 15,000?
The price of lifts, they're run about 10 to
Oh,
15,000. Yeah,
Not even worth.
right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we're using twice a year.
what we're doing.
Great.
Great.
Very good. Okay, let's look at the budget. Just to let you know, the Veterans Memorial, we're done with that. We did sell one more paver. We basically, after all of that, we came over budget $154. But luckily, lighting of the palms, we came under budget $451. We came,
I did have a question about that, the Christmas band, or no, I'm sorry, replacing damaged Christmas strands and lights.
yes,
Why shouldn't we have,
damaged.
yeah, I would assume.
Well, because two reasons. One is where they stored them,
Uh-huh.
and we had a flood and
Yeah,
it
that'll-
damaged a bunch of the stuff. So we're having to,
Right.
our idea was not to have to replace it very often, but we're going to have to replace those.
Christmas lights don't last in general.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right. But that, so the 4th of July, we're under budget by $47, basically. And then thanks to Mrs. What's her name that does the beautification, we haven't had to spend that 485.
Mary Lou.
Yes, Mary
Mary
Lou,
Lou.
Mary Lou, right. So she's great. And in fact, we'll do something for her down the road. So we're basically $828 under budget. However, I don't know if y'all remember or not, but at the Veterans Memorial dedication, Senator John Cornyn's office brought us a flag that hung over the White House. And I have framed it. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday. However, it's going to be delivered either Monday or Tuesday of next week because she had to make a correction to the plaque that's going to be on it. And so it's going to be $626.22. So that just means we're going to be under budget by $202.69.
Will it hang up here?
Yes, it's going to hang right there.
It's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good idea, Shane. I think.
I was just pointing in that direction. Somewhere.
Okay, any questions on our budget for, that's going to be ending next month?
New, our budget comes from taxes, obviously,
Right,
and so how does that work? What is our percentage or? They just have, we have a line item on the city budget.
right,
and
right.
That doesn't fluctuate, it's the same every year?
No. Every year it's different. I
Oh,
mean, quite often in the past, we've wanted to spend 5,000 to 7,000 and they said, well, we'll give you 10.
okay.
So that's what we were getting up until this year was unusual because of the Veterans Park.
Okay,
I mean, we've never had this much budget before.
Okay.
We did that and we raised quite a bit of money too. Even in the previous year, we raised a lot of money to help pay for it by selling those pavers and selling the benches.
and that veterans, I love, by the way, how did that come forward? Like, how did that idea come forward and how did y'all execute that?
There was a veteran who brought it up to us several years ago. And it sat around and there wasn't much done and we needed some plans. And TSTC offered to draw some plans and then COVID hit and they said they couldn't do it. So then I called a friend of mine that's an architect, Mike Alex. And I said, Mike, do you have any suggestions? And after about 10 or 15 minutes of discussion, he said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. So we appreciated Mike's effort. He drew it. I mean, it couldn't look like it does without his ideas.
Yeah, definitely an architect.
And
Right.
and truly, that was a project that it kept bouncing around. And we'd come up with some examples and blah, blah, blah. And it was really, we just didn't seem to make progress, like trying to get ideas. So truly,
Yeah.
when John approached Mike and we have blueprints and that you need electricity and what do we do, then
It all came together.
yes.
Okay.
So,
So
Thank you for
that was
asking.
how that happened.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on this last year's budget?
So we're actually gonna be under budget.
But we're going to be under budget by $202.69. And that's the way this Parks Board, every year since it was created, we've been under budget every year. I like to be fiscally
Okay, yeah, you should be
responsible.
an accountant or something.
So y'all have done a great job. Okay, you all ready for number 10? And that's to discuss regarding the 4th of July celebration event. And I don't know if we've got it. I don't think we have anything on that. But
The only thing that I would like to mention is we do need to replace and or buy some more tabletop decorations for the 4th of July and consider possibly balloons or banners, because I was happy to do it, but I bought balloons out of my pocket for the decorations for the 4th of July. Oh, well, I didn't even think, but I mean, we just, and some of the tabletop, because the wind here, and then there's the heat, and they just are starting to look not professional any longer.
okay,
And being that it's patriotic, it needs to look clean.
good idea.
One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you remember, we had our neighbors who have a little girl, and they went out and they decorated her wagon. And they were all excited, they're new residents. And when they saw who was actually in the parade, they were afraid to go over there because they were gonna pull the little girl away. So just throwing out that maybe next year, I don't know how many would participate, but we might, at the beginning, when everybody's lining up, just welcome any young kids, like they used to have doll buggy parades and tricycle parades, just to go around the parking lot. While people.
Oh, that'd
you
be
know,
fun while we're setting up.
Yeah,
That'd be a lot of fun.
so at least they can be part of it, and then when they're done, then they can sit back with their parents and watch the rest of the parade.
Good idea.
Great.
But we would have to announce that we're gonna show.
What's she afraid of? I don't understand.
Well, we have the motorcycles and we have golf carts and we have the cars. But there were, like little kids.
There were a few on bicycles.
Yeah, there were a couple of
Yeah.
bicycles.
But y'all, and that's where, I sent you an email, but I didn't print it. Okay, good. You're just gonna remind me what I like, all the notes I got. I like to plan things right after it's done.
After action.
Because that's what I
That's right,
remember.
that's right. Yes.
Because with it, it would be really fun to have bicycling kids, and even if someone wanted to walk, one of the things like the antique cars or motorcycles, they've got to go faster.
Right. In
And
fact,
so I wonder,
I asked them to go at 10 miles an hour
Mhm.
and
They-
come to find out it needs to be 15 because their motorcycles heat up if they go so slow
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it hurts their clutches. And so in
I
order
mean-
to go 15, see, that's why your idea of doing something with the kids.
Yeah.
Because they can't walk.
Earlier,
That's not fair.
they can't walk that fast.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to make it all the way around.
The
Right.
bikes seem to
Right.
have done fine.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
but they were. a
No,
little-
yeah. But
Yeah.
I do not suggest pedestrian in the.
Right.
well, and I say that, so, I mean, the parade, maybe it doesn't all have to like stay exactly together. Like maybe the, fire truck can like lead the antique cars, things that will overheat that need to go faster. And then,
Then you would need different
with bicycles, and then have another officer like lead the people that are walking, do we want to do,
Or walking, just keep them.
or
Right,
I say
yeah.
on a bicycle or in a wagon or that type of thing. You know, so, and then do something with like the golf carts and people. And I think one year we had like a flatbed where people could ride on the flatbed. So on the things like, although that would be going slow too. You know, if someone's like, oh, I've got a little person that's tired, it's like, well, guess what? We can put them in a golf cart, we could like put them on a trailer. So,
Am I understanding the pedestrians would walk the whole 3 point something?
Or-
Yeah, see.
Because you're turning that into like a 45-minute, hour long.
No, I was
Right.
thinking that anybody would just be a shorter.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
younger
I agree with
kids,
that, but
younger
the
kids,
pedestrians walking in the parade in the heat.
Yeah.
just too much.
I like Karen's idea of wagons, walkers,
Yes.
bicycles, doing something
Yeah.
before the vehicles go.
And then the young kids can actually watch the rest of the.
Right,
parade, but
right.
They have their own parade.
'Cause
Right.
when we were in the parade, the kids on the sides loved,
Oh, yeah.
ladies loved it.
Well, a little bit, she was only two.
And
and a
if
half.
you add pedestrians, you add so many risks of
Yeah.
getting accidents, somebody falling and tripping, somebody
Well,
getting ran
yeah, it's
over by
liability,
a
that's
bike.
cost, so I mean, as a paramedic.
Heat
I've worked
stroke,
those
yeah.
things, And it's, yeah, it becomes,
Well, and that's where like, and I'm not sure that the golf carts could keep up with the speed that we need for the motorcycles and antique cars to go.
Yeah, there
so
is.
you're
So
talking
other
kind of
than,
that break.
yeah, I said, because other than that, I thought the
Yeah.
flow was almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never put my foot down all the way on my golf cart,
Okay.
and mine got one of the older slow ones.
Well, just because, again, they were going slow where they were having to ride the. foot.
Yeah, but moving it up from 10 to 15.
For the motorcycles and the antique cars, yes, they need to go faster because they have to ride their clutch and
Right.
brake,
Faster
and
than
so.
what You're saying.
But you're saying that the golf carts can go 15?
Yeah, the golf cart.
Okay, then I mean, let's just.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
It was pretty awesome.
Well, and this girl was 2.5 years old. It didn't get to be in it.
And
It's the
it's,
first parade she ever saw. So she was thrilled with that.
It's
Yeah.
okay,
I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
yeah,
Not just them, but if we got a group of little kids, just put them in that parking lot. do their little
or you could even do a thing by the palms area and then know that that's like a candy spot.
Yeah,
That they'll
yeah.
specifically get candy thrown at them.
Right.
Or there's lots of really
Boy,
good
it's just the
ideas
idea
in
to-
incorporating children and
Because
pedestrians.
there's more and more kids that are living here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
So,
great.
so like do them before and like even like if they want to go around the parking lot.
Yeah,
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 I mean, we could have a whole little through the parking
yeah.
lot.
I mean, they could go out into the street
around
and through the
behind
parking lot.
club and
and-
come, you know, I mean,
Right.
just a.
Okay.
Right.
Bill is mentioning a 5K run on the chat.
Well, that's like the circle, which is
You could
great.
do that in the
but
morning.
It's darn hot.
but you could do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you do it in the morning.
But you could totally do a 5K,
Yeah, we've-
4th of July, run in the
This-
morning. That would
Everyone
be-
knows, everyone in Hartford knows that this is the best place to run.
Right.
Run, that's what it's known for.
That would be a great.
And we've had runs out here
Yeah, you
before.
had a triathlon one time.
Right,
Yes.
Huge,
right.
And
Yeah.
very successful.
So, but that would, I would suggest morning with this. piece.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Right. And it was done at a
that's
different
where-
time of the year too.
Right, and then you could have people with their strollers running.
Mhm, yeah.
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 So
Well-
that would be a way to also compare that.
Well, and that's where, and so like with that one, Bicycle World actually, you know, ran it because that's what
Right.
they do.
Yeah.
Right.
And one of the things with that, they had a fantastic turnout and it was a little triathlon.
Right.
And we had
My
a
daughter did that.
fantastic,
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
but the parking was a huge
I was about to say.
issue. You
right.
couldn't get things into the parking lot, like delivery of food for the country club.
Oh,
The streets were all blocked. People could not, you know, because there's not that much room like
Yeah.
around the haciendas.
yeah.
Right.
And so
Sure.
parking was huge. So that's where
Yeah.
we would need to come up with something for
Can we do the day
parking.
before? Do a run. the
I
day
think-
before?
Well, I don't know that the time of the year makes any difference. It's a parking problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean, truly it was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the good thing was it started early and I mean,
Mhm.
and again, Bicycle World, they were pros at running this thing.
Well, I think Bicycle World doing something in Palm Valley Park and Rec's doing something, there's gonna be a little difference. The Experts said,
Right.
and have a huge group to draw from. I don't think we would have that kind of personally, but
So you think focusing it more on the residents of Palm Valley, not like there's going to be an event at the city of
I
Palm
mean,
Valley?
we could limit it if you wanted. I just don't, I think even if we open it up to everyone, we wouldn't have a bicycle world event. I mean, they've been doing this, 4, 5, 6 times a year. And our experts at it.
So just do something much smaller and
Where
kind of
it's-
focus on the
yeah.
residents of Palm
It's
Valley.
it's a good event and I don't think it costs much.
I think for the first time, maybe focus on the children.
Okay.
pedestrians.
Okay, now let me get us focused back because we kind of got off target. We're talking about 5K.
Yes, we
and we need to
do.
stay.
Well,
Right now, we're trying to analyze the 4th of July event. Mayor, I have a question for you. I know you like to, before the parade starts, you wanted to be able to say something. We need a speaker and a box for you to get on or whatever. If, so do we need to plan for renting or asking somebody for that so that you can do that before the event starts?
Mike Garrett was supposed to have a thing out there and he couldn't find it. I mean, they use it in golf tournaments and they come out and they speak and it's a little portable box.
Okay.
And when I called him, he promised me he'd have it there and I can't find it. So that would be something we.
So maybe we plan a backup, yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, but we need to kind of plan for that
Yeah.
for this next year. Okay, very good. We'll
Yeah, 'cause
we'll
we
do that
definitely needed a mic.
Yeah.
That was in my email.
for sure. And then I know the fire truck showed up at the very last second. We probably ought to have maybe a column in the morning and a couple hours in advance and just make sure that they're going to show up and maybe tell them 15 minutes before we need them
Sure.
to show up so that they're there on time.
So having worked with those folks a lot too, it's usually you put a request to the department. Eventually it trickles down to the station captain. But we're also at the whim of a call. So if we
Right.
get a 911 call, we're
Yeah.
That's
live.
happened to us before, yeah.
Right.
They had to go on call. Yeah, the truck that was supposed to be there wasn't there. So they had to send another one from another location.
So I agree. I think the earlier we get in with them and say, hey, we need this, and there's usually some form, pretty straightforward, but yeah, I agree. We need to, they're definitely at least 15, 20 minutes early.
Right,
And that kind of ties in with the kid thing,
Right.
because now the kids can go climb on the fire truck.
right,
Check it out. It's super
right.
fun.
Yeah,
So-
talk to a real fireman.
I'll put that on the thing to make it count.
Right. Okay. Put that in the notes, Sylvia.
Yeah.
No, whatever calendar in advance notice, so let them know in advance. And whatever time we eventually decide it's going to start, we tell them 15 minutes earlier to be there, that it's going to start. Kind of like a friend of mine, he has to tell his wife 15 minutes before we're going to go to dinner so that she'll actually be ready on time. Right.
So,
How-
Not my
Would you
wife.
suggest we contact them, being that you worked with them?
I
before?
mean, they probably
Well-
won't have their
Like months.
2023.
Yeah, Sylvia's got, Sylvia has the contacts. She knows
I don't even know who contacted them to begin with.
Sylvia.
Okay.
Okay, and then Mayor?
Whoever will be the next person.
We need to help.
Yeah.
We'll need an outline of what we're proposing.
Okay, now, the motorcycles were a big hit. We need to make sure that we have the motorcycle club's phone number so we can, make sure they're invited early on.
I'll send you scooters right now.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, that's the owners of Two and Crew on Business 83. It's in between the bottle shop and Texas Rose.
Okay,
Okay.
And it looks like a motorcycle repair shop. I told them they do have food signs out, but they got the best food and tiny little kitchen, but she bakes all the time. So they got cupcakes decorated in there. I mean, they're the nicest couple
oh,
and just a great place to go have a hamburger or club sandwich or something.
okay,
But
all right.
We were there
And
once.
that whole group was all law enforcement. And
You're right.
veterans, so, good guys.
No,
Oh,
they
I
were,
mean-
they were great. And Julie did a fantastic job of making sure they had ice buckets and something to drink. And I think we need to make sure that that's in the budget next time too. Because we need to make sure those people that we show them appreciation for coming.
Well, and I look at like, and they can't bring their own chairs. Because they're on motorcycles. And so like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
uh,
So the country club's chairs, was that enough for them?
no.
Okay.
How many bikers did you have?
That's a bunch.
I don't know.
5?
No.
Oh, no, no.
25 or
Okay,
30.
all right.
Yeah,
it was-
25 or 30.
25.
Yeah. So,
I don't know that the country club can provide more than what they did, because when I set them up, they said they needed everything else for under the.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we can rent 20 chairs.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a problem. We'll just put it
And
in the budget.
It might be nice to be able to do that anyway, because some people don't want to drag their chair over, or
Yeah.
like me, I pull out the chair and I'm like, oh, it's bent up or it's broken and. now-
I actually wish
now
there
I'm
was
in the
more.
chair.
Wish there was more shade. A
Yeah.
lot of people
Awnings or something.
struggled with the lack of shade.
Right. Right.
Who all was
Okay.
here when we did it on the golf course
You mean the dragon
or
range?
driving range?
Oh, I wasn't here.
I was out of town too, but I remember when they did it. But I think that the setup and everything for the band and everything was much easier. than
Oh,
up
yeah.
By the building.
Yeah, I think the location we have is a good location.
I was
And,
wondering-
and I think they complained of the heat out on the driving range too. So,
I was wondering if people know, somebody talked to the country club, because they did close that section. They weren't feeding people there, but they wanted the chairs to remain. So I was wondering if we could talk to the country club and then allow them to put that open and say it is for people for the celebration.
You mean the patio
Yeah,
under the?
they
patio?
tried closing it, and of course, some people just sat there anyway. But it would be nice if it was just officially open, since they're not using it.
I think the problem was this time they didn't have enough help to take care of the whole area. You know, out
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell them, because if they're not using it again, then maybe that would be a good idea.
Sure.
Right. Right. Okay. Did anybody take any photos I took a couple.
I have some, I'll send them to you.
Okay.
I'll email them by
Okay.
tomorrow.
I may have to.
Thank you. Because our next newsletter, we want to be sure and put some photographs in there.
I had a friend give me a few of hers as well.
Okay, super.
I sent you
Yeah.
the one I took.
Yeah, yeah.
Take photos.
So we need somebody to maybe
Yeah, email them.
designated. to
Email
take
them.
pho- I
No,
know.
are
Yeah,
you-
text them.
Yeah, I took some pictures of the parade too.
Do we need to designate somebody next time to do photos?
Yeah, I've got a couple of pictures of the parade, people lining up, but I don't have any pictures, 'cause I didn't think about it, at the club when the band.
So we're all
and
running
all that.
around doing things.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Do we need to pick maybe someone who volunteered to take pictures?
Yep.
We could get Mike to barbecue for us.
Yep.
Not anymore because we didn't.
I was gonna say,
We're like, you're not on the city park board, but we have a job for you.
The only other thing that Julie emailed me and that I looked at that I think would probably be a good idea is it was hot and people left about 8 o'clock. We could move the start time back a little bit, maybe line up at 6:30 and actually do the parade at 7. And then it'd be a little cooler. It wouldn't quite be as hot once we got to the club. And people are going to leave at 8 or 8:30 anyway.
It doesn't fully address your comment, but it helps.
it does help, but will there be food?
What?
Will there be food?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Will
yeah.
people want to eat at what time of the parade? Did you say?
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
too late.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Oh, 7:30.
I mean, it's not too late for me,
7:30.
but I mean, it might be.
Or
where
do
people
you
That's a
like-
good point.
Or do like a 6 o'clock lineup and the parade started at 6.
Yeah, maybe just 30 minutes.
Isn't that what we did this year?
Because if we moved.
No,
it
we
full-
lined up at 5:30
Right,
and the parade started at
correct.
6.
So if we did a full hour, people might get so hungry they don't purchase.
Because we ran into that problem with the lighting of the palms too.
Oh,
I remember we were doing it earlier and then people got tired.
Yeah.
Some of them went home to eat and then there was something with the lighting of the palms, so we ended up moving it up So they only had to wait like a half hour for the,
How long did the parade take?
I
From
don't
from the time we
remember.
started to the time we got back to the club, I wonder how long it was.
It wasn't that long.
I heard it short.
10 miles per
I have
hour.
the time, it's not.
Oh,
The
great.
last Picture I took was at the end, it was at 6:28.
So it took about
And it,
30 minutes.
and it shows that we left at 5:43. Okay.
Okay,
You are so.
And
okay.
Gil on the chat there says that there were photos posted on Nextdoor, so if you're on the Nextdoor app, you can access those as well.
Okay,
But so
okay.
yeah, maybe 30 minutes. I mean, it makes sense.
Thank
But a
thank you,
whole
Gail,
hour, I
for
think people would be very
participating.
hungry and not very happy.
Okay, so maybe started at 6 o'clock. I mean, line up at 6, do the
Yeah.
parade at 6:30, so at 7 o'clock, people can be
Yeah,
eating.
I think that's good.
Okay, okay,
And there was a lot of standing around. I mean, you know, I've done a lot of events and I keep a file on every event I do and write down notes because next year it's hard to remember, you know, but there was a lot of standing around in the heat.
Yeah.
And, you know, at some point we just gotta do it, you know, because I mean, I think we're out there about an hour before we got home.
didn't they start serving food before the parade was over, or did they?
think
I
they
don't
did.
know, because I was in the parade.
Do they have,
You were
do
the
we
first
have
one
one
in.
of those
Yeah.
I
bullhorns?
don't remember.
Do we
Well-
have a bullhorn?
No, but that's what
Because
the
if we
mayor
have-
was asking Mike Hicks. Mike Hicks has got one.
Right, because if we had our, but if Park and Recs had one for the beginning of the parade, you can simply just do a sound and be like, we're going.
Okay. Well,
We are
but
moving.
we had to wait for the fire truck.
Yes.
They were late.
Um,
That's why we had to
It
wait.
still wouldn't hurt to have a bullhorn.
But in fact, we had just decided to just let the police chief lead it.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the fire truck pulled up.
Right.
But even at the lighting of the palms, couldn't a bullhorn be helpful? Because we were at the lighting of the palms and we couldn't hear the speakers.
I'm never here for lighting of the
Well, we
palms.
were,
I'm
and it was
at-
nice.
In fact,
but
I
we
got
couldn't
my
hear-
UT football tickets today.
Oh, you did.
So I'm
No,
gonna be in
the
Austin
band.
again.
We could hear the band somewhat, but the person that spoke before the band, introducing them and what have you.
Yeah, so the band, does the band have, they have microphones? don't
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
weren't very loud, but I just feel like a bullhorn would probably be a good idea for anyone trying to
we
be
can
like,
certainly
the
do
hot chocolate is
Oh,
right
yeah.
here and it is
That's a good
ready now, or, cause
Right.
that was also a problem, the hot chocolate.
Well, we can either borrow Mike Hicks's if he can find it. I think between now and December, Mike ought to
We
be
should
able to
come
find
up with
us.
something, and if they can't, there's a good chance my wife has one that we can use, so.
Okay.
Which is lovely, or like,
Well,
ask Brett Manning if he's got a speaker with
yeah,
him.
he does.
Well, bullhorns are small.
But he's got to have power
Turn
to
around.
plug it into.
That's true.
But I
About
think,
halfway through, the fire truck started playing music. I don't really know where that came from. It came sure like that. And I mean, they're playing sirens and all that also, but maybe back in the pack, we could get a member or a golf cart with music. You know,
I think
That's a
Well,
great idea.
Mike Hicks had lot
We had
music that
music
he
on.
was playing
Yes.
from.
Yeah.
his
I could hear
We
music.
were playing music
I didn't know
from
where it
our
was
feet.
coming from.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it
in
was
the
your
car.
cart.
No,
What?
but it might be something you put on the file.
It
for
must have
next
been
year.
Mike Hicks then.
We put music on in our Jeep.
I don't want to buy any equipment or anything, but I'm sure there's folks that got
Yeah.
powerful stuff.
Right.
And that, you know, because I think that was cool.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna advertise people playing music, we might wanna have like appropriate and inappropriate.
Yeah,
You might wanna have Fourth of July
Family
themed
friendly,
music,
Yeah.
is
Right.
what I would do.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on 4th of July?
Yeah, I've got two comments. One,
Okay.
Arnold was super tickled.
Oh, good.
So he really enjoyed it. Was kept asking me a couple times, like, how did I get this? I'm like, well, because you're good with the community and you're just a good person. So we wanted to acknowledge that. And then I want to thank Yvonne Kelleher for letting us borrow her BMW. That's the car that I.
Oh,
that we
that's
drove around.
Yvonne's.
It was-
Okay.
it was Yvonne's. So,
Okay. Yes, because we always need a convertible for the Marshall.
yeah, so it was real kind of her to do that. She watched it that day. Let me just walk over and borrow it. So it's great.
And that's Yvonne.
Keller.
There's another thing on the comment.
So, oh, good. Thanks to Eric Hoff and his donation.
Yes.
Provide
for the
food at
food.
fourth celebration.
That was a
Yeah,
huge
sure.
thing.
Thanks, Gil.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. And your wife, right? He's
You
not
can't hear
listening.
you.
He's not. Anyway, yeah, he donated the hamburgers. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
okay, any other comments on 4th of July? Okay, so I think that gives us a good base for next year.
I thought it was very successful.
So, yeah, I thought so too. You did a fantastic job.
Everybody worked really hard.
And we saved money on the
You're
band.
hired.
Yes, we did.
We
Yeah.
saved quite a bit of money on the band.
And we know who that is, so we can get them
Oh,
again
yeah.
next year.
Oh, yeah. And I
Okay.
think, I mean, they were,
Because they actually play at the club all the
well,
time.
they're gonna play Wine Down Wednesday next week. So,
Okay,
They were at
Yeah,
the
we'll
Moon
be
Rock a
able to-
couple weeks ago. Great.
okay.
yeah, we'll be able to
Very
get them
good.
again, because they were really interested in doing it, so.
Good, good. Okay,
And so except for the details of things, kind of what we already did, so then just the new thing is trying to do something where, which, like where the kids are going around the
I'm excited
parking
about
lot.
it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, that's a great idea.
And
I
I
love
love
that.
that in
I think it'll
the,
be
in the
phenomenal.
poster, and to tell them that there's gonna be a special parade for the young kids.
right, right.
And when I talked to the couple, they said, oh, that would be great.
Yeah, good, good. No, I think that's super, because we definitely want to involve the kids. And that way they can have their time in the light, and then they can go watch the parade.
Yes.
I mean, when I was a little kid, we used to have dollar buggy parades, and I can remember, I think a lot of us can,
Yeah,
so I don't know if they do that anymore.
well, I think up north they do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's go to number
And read that
11.
before, right? Before we start the big one.
Okay, so now let's talk about the number 11, which is to discuss any proposed events and activities for next year. And so this would be our year starts on October the 1st.
Mhm.
We go from October the 1st to September 30th. So this would include Veterans Day, which is November the 11th,
Mhm.
and it's on a Saturday this year.
Okay.
Then the lighting of the palms, which is the day after Thanksgiving, which will be the 25th of November this year, and that's a Friday. And then 4th of July in 23 is on a Tuesday, by the way.
Okay, can you say that again?
Between Christmas and 4th of July, you're missing Memorial Day. That's an important one.
Memorial Day is May 29th. Yeah, that's in May.
And I mean, that's not gonna be a big one, but
Yeah.
you guys could
Yeah.
figure the same as veterans.
Yeah.
And pass the budget with another $500 based on that Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is bigger than veterans, in my mind. I mean, those are the people that died for us.
Yeah, we did the Veterans Day thing where we christened the park, but then when he put together the Memorial Day one,
Yeah.
that was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we have. to
Well, we
do
can,
anything.
I thought that was a good little
Yeah.
event. We can do something similar to
That
that.
was done.
And I'm gonna be talking to Shay about the Christmas parade of homes that
Oh.
they used to have.
Oh,
And,
nice.
you know, eventually I'd like to get the board involved in that. We can cheat with the city doing it. Because I don't want it just to be HCC folks. I mean, I'd like our citizens to be able to do it. But boy, I don't know if you ever went to that, but.
That was good.
a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I think, yeah, that's been a long time ago, but I remember doing
Yeah,
that.
like, what was this? We went to your house.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, my house was one of the houses that we visited.
But anyhow. that
Parade
was
of
a-
homes.
At
That was
Christmas.
a cool thing. I think it'd be good for the club because people non-club would meet club members and it's a community thing.
Sure.
So that might be something Parks and Recs looks at in the future. It's not a big dollar thing. I mean, I think it's basically a big poster outside, you know.
You know what, now that you said that, the parade homes did do well.
Oh, yeah.
Was anybody involved in that? I mean, I provided a house, but I wasn't involved in the organization.
I was.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion. It was a cool, I thought it was a cool thing.
I was
for the
involved
city.
somehow. I can't remember, but I just remember being involved. And there was always a.
But it could be.
But it was a closed, it was a
Yeah.
closed HCC event.
Right.
And
People paid,
I would
and I think
rather
money
have
was
it be a
going.
city event with HCC.
The thing is, you have to be conscientious, and this is something that we had to station people in our house because you got a lot of people coming in your house you don't know.
Oh, they
I
went
mean-
in the houses?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about driving by and seeing.
No,
like,
no,
houses that
they
are
came in the
decorated.
house.
Oh, why?
That was the better thing. Like, they used to do the yard.
See, that's what I think is the
Yes,
yard
and then at
idea.
Christmas, y'all would do the judging of the best decorated Christmas.
That would be
house.
there you go.
That, and
That's
that's,
different than.
and then you don't have to worry about it
Yeah.
inside your
Yeah.
home.
You
Well,
didn't have, hey, John, you didn't have to worry about me. I just go straight to the bar.
and that was where like, so an example with the judging.
Right.
Yes.
There's always gonna be.
Well, the challenge is, so we all went around and like made our notes and all of us, I mean, it was hard to find the same one that everybody voted on. Was that correct? The
Right.
last time we did it?
Yeah.
So like, the yard of the month was, to really try to make people aware of like beautifying the
Right.
neighborhood. And then the judging of the Christmas lights was to encourage, you know, people to decorate. And so that's for like picking the best.
Well, maybe it's about how you word it, or maybe themes. Instead of the best, you could do most retro decorated Christmas house. You could do most antique, you know, you can find categories in the house, most childlike house, most lights,
Right.
and then that way you have several people and nobody feels,
Right. And we had signs we'd stick in their yard if they won,
right,
and we gave them a gift certificate
right.
for,
Grimsels.
to Grimsels.
And then y'all did the judging of the Halloween, and that's when it was done in categories.
See, I think
Y'all did the
categories.
Halloween.
Okay.
Yes, that was done in categories.
So I think,
And
yeah.
that whole thing just went away because of the challenges that y'all had to do in judging.
Right.
You knew that everybody had tried their best,
Well,
so you didn't want to choose one over another.
Well,
Y'all had tried
it was the same people that were winning all the time.
Is that, but I don't know, is that a bad thing? Because if they're always trying and other people aren't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but the categories, if they're very specific, then it's based on the category, not on biasm or likes and dislike. You
Yeah.
could check these boxes.
Oh,
But
there's
it's
still,
kinda hard to know what themes people are gonna do. So maybe instead of people going into someone's homes, maybe we do want to do like a parade of homes and see if there's people that like, okay, we know they're big decorators and they want to be part of like, you know, it's a
Well-
neighborhood night out
well,
and, you know, going to different.
if we did the Christmas decoration contest again,
Mhm,
then once the judges judged and we could put signs up,
mhm.
then we could post it and let people know, here are the winners.
Yeah.
Go around and look at these 5 or 6, different categories of winners.
And I really think if it's very spelled out and advertised, then people will know, oh, I want to win. I want to have fun with my house being a retro Christmas house, or I want to have fun with my house having dozens of lights.
Well, we had veterans,
Or, yeah.
yeah, the veterans
amazing.
Christmas. We got into, some people do so many blow-ups.
Like you could do the most blow-ups.
And so we could do the most blow-ups because Christmas is about Christ. And so that was one of the problems, is that some people felt like people who did Christmas decorations supporting why we have the season, deserves a vote. And people that put a snowman blow up in their yard, it's a
But
lot
if
of
you
work
keep
and
it
it
to the
costs money.
category, like
you know,
different.
But that's why you need new
Yeah,
categories.
keep
That's why you
it
need different categories. Yeah. All right. Well, we can do that. Any other, do we want to do Halloween too? I don't know how many people decorate for Halloween. I don't.
I don't think there's that many.
You know,
Last
few, yeah.
year, we did it. There are more children now in the community, so that's something to consider. We did it and there was a lot of people out. I
Yeah.
was impressed.
Sylvia, how does the police force feel about all the people that come out here for Halloween?
Well, they have it under control. I think this past year is because of COVID again, this past year, they didn't have to deal with a whole lot of traffic in and out. But usually, I mean, they have it under control the best they
Okay.
can.
And I think that they try to encourage people to go like everyone's going the same direction.
Right, they
that kind of
actually
thing.
closed some locations and kind of directed people.
And like people in cul-de-sacs, they're all kind of like sitting out in the front, so people don't have to go down the
Well,
cul-de-sacs.
let's tackle the Christmas decoration
Yeah, I think
idea and do that first.
I agree.
And let's see how it goes.
That's
and-
fair.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay, so right now we got Veterans Day, Christmas lighting, Memorial Day, 4th of July. We still got to do
What about Easter?
and Christmas decorations. That, any other ideas?
Do we do Easter?
My birthday?
Oh, the mayor's birthday, okay. We're gonna budget,
I have no idea.
we're gonna budget $2 for that? or- Okay,
So, like-
Halloween,
no Halloween.
Are we open to Easter or spring?
Well, that's, we could always do different decorations
Well,
at
and-
the entrance.
If we wanted to get together with the club, they could do an Easter egg hunt on.
Well, they
Well,
already do
The
that.
club does an
Yeah.
Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it'd be easy.
yeah, I think they've got that.
Yeah, they got that
handled.
all set. They've been doing that
Yeah.
for years. And then they have brunch for the, the
Yeah.
kids afterwards.
Right, but you have to be a
It's all
club
packaged,
member.
yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
and
so-
it's
So it's
a
not
big day for them.
Right, but
with
the
that.
community kids can't do the Easter egg hunt,
Right.
it's only the members.
Right,
Right.
Right, and we're Palm Valley, so that's why I was wondering about Easter for the citywide, yeah.
Maybe we could do some decorations like at this entrance with, how like we do the big Christmas tree.
yeah.
That'd be nice, kind of like lighting up the palms, but at Easter or spring or Easter, that would be nice. The kids would have fun looking at them.
Mayor, do you have any, Mayor? Do you have any idea what kind of budget we might be looking at? I mean, if we tell you 10,000 or 12,000, is that reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, I think 10,000 is, I mean, the way you guys. I mean, I see the expenses and you're not extravagant at all. I mean, with another 500 in it for Memorial Day, I mean, you'd be at. I did the math, but you'd be at over $6,000 or somewhere in that area. So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it hurt to have a little buffer.
Well, and I know the Christmas doing the Christmas, we got to buy signs again. We've got to give gift certificates. And I mean, there's some money involved in city expense for
I
that.
mean, I
So,
don't think 10,000 is out of the question at all.
okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure you're gonna end up with a couple, 2,000-3,000 left over. but-
Yeah.
But there's
But-
next year after that, and the year after that. and
yep, okay. Okay,
Okay, so like the,
So it sounds like we would, or is there an interest in the Easter or spring thing? It sounds like we have room in the budget for it.
We did, one year we did an Oktoberfest above and beyond what we normally do, and it wasn't that successful. Remember?
right.
no, but it was nice.
It was nice.
No.
It
but
was nice.
uh,
Oktoberfest was nice in the back.
We had live music and we had it in the parking lot, and I think the club was involved in
Yes.
that.
Right.
And
Set
it
up
was
hay
nice, but
bales
it
and-
wasn't, there were a ton of people there.
No, it was the first year and then next year, which we did it in 19, and then.
What about the idea you had for the area of lighting the palms for Easter decorations?
Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, we're kind of wanting to make it
Yeah,
sort of fun and festive.
we're gonna need to buy more lights
Right.
and more, we probably need to bump the budget up there.
Sure.
Um,
So we've got, the lighting of the palms and the 4th of July are two well-established events, because that's part of what
Mhm.
helps in, like, you know, when you get something and then it builds and then kind of adding something else. We know that we want to, so like, the veterans
Yes.
celebrations with our beautiful veteran park, that's
Yeah.
a kind of like, you know, like.
So are we gonna
so
use
we
that?
have two well-established events.
Well, I think
And then the
Eric,
veterans.
when he said the Memorial Day thing would be the better event.
Yeah.
That's why I say, are we gonna use the
Veterans
veteran
Day.
park for Memorial Day? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
use
saying?
it for Memorial Day rather.
Yeah.
We did the Veterans Day because it was a brand new park, right?
Right,
I think we just do a thing for Memorial Day, which is the more important day.
right.
In the veterans park.
Well, I think we need to probably have a little event at both of them,
I do too.
but I think the memorial is probably, we'll stress that one a little more.
Okay.
Um,
Time do you typically have those during that?
That was like
It was
at
like 10
This
o'clock
morning,
or
yeah, I think
something.
it was
in the morning?
10 in the morning, something like that.
And it was nice.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
fire department was there.
Why don't we settle on the Veterans Park, Christmas, the Memorial, 4th of July. I'll still put the beautification in there and Christmas decorations and the judging and because I can go back and look at what our costs were in the past for that. We're going to have to add a little more cost probably for the lifts if AEP can't do it. So I mean, that's adding two new events that we didn't do last year. So what about that for kind of a plan?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay. And if we can tackle that and we were successful at it, then we can add another event the next year.
Sorry, I missed Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It really was a nice event.
Remember they sold pumpkins, like. Michael
Yes.
came and he and his wife sold pumpkins
Oh,
from, I think from the church or something.
yeah, from
And
our
I-
church.
Yes, and I mean, truly, the Oktoberfest was a really
What I like
nice.
about that is no one else is doing it. It's something that's unique that I don't hear of any other town doing that. So that.
Well,
always
and
wondered, like,
that's one of the
Yeah.
kind of like depends, like, you know, when something falls, because like. If on a weekend, people may be at the beach the whole time, or they've gone to see family. So
Right.
sometimes it kind of varies, but
And I think Bill Scoggins donated haystacks or hay.
Hay
to
bales.
sit on,
Mhm.
and then he eventually used them.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sylvia, that was a really good event. It was a
Okay.
shame it wasn't attended better,
Well,
but
maybe-
it was the first
Did
one.
the country club do it or the Parks and Rec?
It was Parks and
It
Rec.
was
Parks and Rec did
it was
They
kind of
just
a
let us-
combination.
They let us have their whole back parking
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Well,
well,
I think they serve like cider. and-
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I guess we need a motion. Okay, so now we're done with 11. Now, number 12 is to consider and take action to recommend the proposed budget for the fiscal year 22-23 to the city council to get their approval.
And you're looking at 10,000?
I think
I'm trying to remember.
$10,000 is probably what we ought to ask for. I can detail some stuff to kind
But
of show
hasn't
them.
that what we've gotten the last few years other than the Memorial Park or the?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
that's-
say, I thought-
That's pretty much what we were getting before.
So John, before you get there, I have a question on the Veterans Memorial. So you've got grand opening event at 3:34. Do we want to name that something different? Because the first year I get the grand opening. But if somebody were to
Oh.
look at this, they want to know what are we grand opening again? the
No, we're
second
not,
time?
it's not going to be a grand opening
Okay,
anymore.
so
No, it's just going to be.
just call it event.
Yeah, and a
Gathering.
memorial,
Yeah.
veterans event, and a memorial event.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, Sylvia.
John, Jose has put up the budget up there. Do you want to plug in some numbers?
Well,
This time, or you're not ready to
I
do
don't
that?
think we have all the details. I think I can fill in a lot of information there, but we're going to request 10,000.
So
Is that okay with you, Mayor? Okay,
So I'll make a motion to request 10,000 from the city of Palm Valley for the Parks and Rec.
And I
okay,
second that.
okay, and Julie seconded it. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Very good. No, with no opposition, I think we can move to number 13. Goodbye. I think we can be adjourned.
Okay.
Anything else?
Motion?
You need a motion to adjourn?
I motion that we adjourn.
Thank you, Shane.
I second.
Jennifer seconds it. We're adjourned. Thank you all very, very much. This was